small, humble, and often overlooked. The 1-cent coin, or the penny, might not seem like much. But if you take a closer look, you'll discover that this tiny piece of currency has a deep history and a surprisingly big impact on the U.S. economy. Today, we're going to explore the fascinating story of the 1-cent coin, from its creation over 200 years ago to its role in the modern world, where it's still circulating billions of times every year. So how did this small, everyday coin become such an integral part of America's currency? Let's take a journey through time to understand its value, history, and how it continues to hold importance even in a world where digital payments are taking over. Our story begins in 1792, the year the United States Mint was founded. At this point, the country had just won its independence and needed its own currency to distinguish itself from British coinage. But despite having a system in place, there was still a major gap in the currency, something that would allow small transactions to happen more efficiently. The U.S. Mint was busy producing large coins, but small denominations like the penny were still missing. In 1793, the U.S. Mint produced the first 1-cent coin, known as the chain cent, designed by Robert Scott. The coin was large, made of pure copper, and featured a chain around the edges symbolizing the unity of the 13 colonies. It wasn't exactly practical, and it didn't last long, but it marked the beginning of a long journey. By 1796, the Mint changed the design to the more recognizable Liberty Cap design, which was smaller and more practical. The Liberty Cap design was the first step in a long series of changes, as the 1-cent coin would continue to evolve over the years. As time passed, the penny saw several major design changes, reflecting both political and economic shifts. In 1859, the U.S. Mint introduced the Indian head penny, which featured a Native American figure on the obverse. The reverse side of the coin displayed a shield, symbolizing the strength and unity of the country. This design lasted for several decades until 1909, when another redesign marked the next chapter in the penny's evolution. 1909 brought about a landmark change with the introduction of the Lincoln wheat penny, created to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This coin featured a portrait of the beloved president on the front, and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse. The wheat penny became a mainstay of American currency for over 50 years, capturing the spirit of a nation emerging from the Great Depression. By 1959, the reverse side of the coin was redesigned to feature the Lincoln Memorial, in honor of Lincoln's legacy. This version of the penny remained in circulation for over 50 years, until 2010, when the U.S. Mint unveiled the current design, the shield penny, symbolizing the nation's strength and unity. Despite its long history, the penny has become something of a paradox. On one hand, its purchasing power has diminished dramatically. A penny that could once buy a loaf of bread now can barely buy a single piece of gum. And yet, the penny remains in circulation, used by millions of people every day for small transactions. But why? The penny, while worth very little today, still plays a vital role in retail. It's used to round prices, allowing stores to offer items at prices that end in 0.99 or 0.95, a tactic that has been shown to influence consumer psychology. Without the penny, prices would likely have to be rounded up to the next 5-cent increment, creating subtle shifts in consumer behavior. Despite its role in the retail system, the penny is also a subject of fierce debate. Critics argue that it's obsolete. In fact, it costs the U.S. Mint more to produce a penny than it's worth. As of 2024, it costs about 2.1 cents to make each penny, which means that for every penny produced, taxpayers are effectively losing money. So why continue to mint them? For many, it's about tradition. The penny represents more than just its monetary value. It's part of the fabric of American history. But with digital payments and credit card transactions becoming the norm, it begs the question, should the penny be retired? Despite the debate over its future, the penny remains a staple of American currency. In fact, there are over 140 billion pennies currently in circulation, with billions more minted each year. These pennies represent a combined value of approximately $1.4 billion. Even in a digital age, pennies continue to serve their purpose, showing up in every pocket, jar, and coin purse. And let's not forget, the penny can still have value beyond its face value. Rare pennies, like the 1943 copper penny or the 1909 SVDB Lincoln penny, can be worth thousands of dollars to collectors. So while the penny might seem insignificant on its own, in the right circumstances, it can become a valuable treasure. The penny is about more than just its value as currency. It's a piece of our history, a reminder of how far we've come, and a symbol of the small, everyday transactions that drive our economy. For collectors, it's a tangible connection to the past, and for many, it's a piece of Americana, tied to memories of childhood, old piggy banks, and counting change. So, what's the real value of a penny? It's certainly not just about what it can buy. The 1-cent coin is a living piece of history, a symbol of the American economy that continues to circulate, evolve, and spark debate. Whether you see it as a piece of history, a practical tool for rounding change, or a rare collector's item, the penny will always have its place in our pockets, our banks, and our history. Next time you come across a penny, don't just let it slip through your fingers. Appreciate its place in history, its ongoing impact on the economy, and perhaps, just perhaps, consider that small coin as a symbol of something much bigger.